Good evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Chris Higgins. Chris's Corner video update for the upcoming winter storm. This is put out Saturday evening, very late, February the 6th, 2010. Keep it valid through Sunday morning until after the morning model runs come in on Sunday. So this will be valid for about 12 hours time until we get more data in on Sunday morning. Here's a look at the satellite review. The storm systems we're watching really twofold. The southern storm system to the southwest down there in California has now mostly moved ashore. Not a tremendous amount of moisture with it compared to other storm systems we've seen, but a pretty good swirl showing up on the satellite pictures out there, and a pretty decent size and strength storm in the southwest headed for the Four Corners area. There's also a smaller but rather intense swirl in the upper levels dropping out of Canada. That is somewhat of a break off of the polar vortex. That cold storm is going to merge with our southern storm, and the two should emerge somewhere into the middle west or the plain states during the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night. And that's when things really will start to crank up, with snow spreading out of Nebraska and the Dakotas into Minnesota and Iowa, and also out of Kansas into Missouri, and out of Oklahoma into southwest Missouri and Arkansas. So those are the players as we look ahead in time. All right, for this update, we're going to use the NAM because it's coming closer to what I think the ideal solution with the conceptual solution would be, even though it's outside its reliability window. As has been the case with almost every system this year, the ejecting shortwave coming out of the southern stream looks like it's still shearing out and weakening too quickly as it heads to the east. Likewise, the upper low in the northern stream looks like it's still too progressive, although the trend has started in the NAM to back it more to the south and southwest, and ultimately what I think is going to happen is we'll get a little Fujiwara effect here, tugging the northern low a little further to the southwest. The southern system will come a little more to the north and east, putting the St. Louis area in the I-44 corridor in Missouri and I-70 in Illinois in prime position for significant snow event. We'll push this forward in time. You can see the shortwave just falls apart much too quickly. This is very similar to what we've seen multiple times so far this year. I would expect this lead shortwave to be stronger than it is forecast right now, even by the NAM, which in turn would force the northern cold core system further to the south into Kansas instead of Nebraska, very similar to what happened with our last storm system. Also on the NAM, taking a look at the 700 millibar charts, this is at Sunday night, midnight into Monday morning. And you can see warm air advection and warm frontogenesis beginning to take place at 700 millibars as the cross isotherm flow intensifies down over southern Missouri, tightening up this thermal gradient over much of Missouri during the wee hours of the morning, Sunday night into Monday morning. That continues into the morning hours on Monday, and especially notice here by midday, there's actually a 700 millibar shortwave, a fairly strong-looking shortwave that lifts from south to north. That's in conjunction with the warm frontogenesis enforcing over southern Missouri. And that, I think, will overcome the dry air very quickly. The model soundings all indicate saturation by mid-morning across mid-Missouri and into southern Illinois, and I think that will mark the onset of our snowfall. And it may start with a pretty good surge of snow around midday on Monday. Take you forward in time into Monday evening, late Monday afternoon to Monday evening, strong mid-level flow crossing the isotherms at almost a 90-degree angle between 20 and 30 knots, focused on southeastern Missouri, with the prime zone along and south of I-44 in Missouri, and then northward along I-55 into Illinois. That should be some pretty decent snow beginning to fall by the evening rush hour here in St. Louis. At the same time, notice what's going on out here to the west. The cold front surge at 700 millibars is taking hold, and you have a strong signature showing up of cold frontogenesis where the temperature lines are compacting out there as a result of advancing cold air. That should result in banded snowfall across central and eastern Missouri through the overnight hours on Monday night into very early Tuesday morning. Here you see the 700 millibar map by 12Z on Tuesday morning, so very late Monday night into Tuesday morning. 700 millibar lows probably too far to the north. I think a trend back to the southwest again will be most likely, and I would expect it to pass from Topeka over Kansas City or even further south, heading for maybe the southwest St. Louis suburbs or even as far south as Rolla before all is said and done. Whether it stays to the north or comes to the south, an important feature to watch is this dry air advection in the dry slot trying to punch into the moisture along the Mississippi River. That's a sign where we might get some convective development as convective elements develop within the moist zone here on that interface, and could even get some training of those convective elements leading to enhanced snowfall. Down to 850 millibars, and you can see the 850 low trying to develop over northwest Arkansas. Strong cross frontal flow from Arkansas into southern Missouri. The pink lines here, which may be hard to see for you at home, those are theta E advection lines. Typically, it's in the area of theta E advection on the nose of the strongest theta E advection where you start to get really good precipitation echoes breaking out, and it would appear that that's going to coincide with the midday hours on Monday, as that strong theta E advection comes over the top of the frontal boundary to the south, the warm frontal boundary, leading to pretty rapid expansion of light to maybe occasionally moderate snow into the St. Louis area around midday on Monday. As that warm frontal forcing lifts through at 850, that begins to wane briefly, and then the cold front begins to swing through at 850, and you still get that strong thermal gradient developing here, that strong frontal scale forcing, which will result in additional enhancement to the snow. So it does look like frontal forcing, strong frontogenetic forcing through all layers of the atmosphere, first as a warm front, then as the cold front takes control, as the colder air pushes in, no matter where this low pressure system ends up. Also important to note, normally I wouldn't be excited about low pressure moving northwest, an 850 low moving northwest of St. Louis, but what that does in this case is it prolongs the warm air advection over the top of the cold dome, which continues to enhance the precipitation amounts as the system moves in. So a track to the northwest is actually a good feature to look for in this case. All right, so when you get through all the mumbo-jumbo and all the science, what does this finally pan out to, and how's this going to play out for you and me? Here are my snowfall projections. I'm still keeping it fairly general right now until we get some more consensus in the models in this track, but I'm liking a large area of 5 or more inches across Missouri and into southern Illinois. This northern part of that 5+ inches will be tied strongly to the mid-level, the upper-level system coming in from the north and the frontogenesis with that. The southern area will be tied with the warm frontogenesis from the southern part of the system as it passes by on the leading edge. And just in general, a good 5+ inch amount. Now, if the storm comes in further south and tracks down through the Ozarks and down towards Fredericktown, that second upper level low, then these amounts will be much too low, and we could end up with potentially a foot of snow in the highest points as far as snowfall totals. But for now, I think a conservative 5 or more inch amount, and we can fine-tune the higher ranges later once we get a better look at how these two storm systems, these two pieces of energy, are going to interact. I've left it a little bit drier to the north and east across central and eastern Illinois. That's primarily because snow up there will not begin to mount up until later. But Irving and Vandalia through early Tuesday, about a 1 to 5 inch snow. But I think those numbers will go up as well as this whole system finally translates to the east. Accordingly, the winter storm watches are in effect now late Sunday night, but truly mostly for Monday into Monday night and perhaps extended into Tuesday. And that covers all of Missouri for the most part into central and southern Illinois for the very good potential of warning level snows in a large part of Missouri and Illinois. The highlights with this system, the final breakdown, should look something like this. Sunday is calm, the calm before the snow, if you will, with lighter snow developing during the morning hours on Monday, maybe occasionally moderate, especially around midday. An inch or so of accumulation during the day on Monday, maybe some isolated 2-inch amounts, but the heaviest, most significant snow of the event will be Monday night into early Tuesday morning, where I'm expecting widespread 5+ inch amounts across the Fox 2 News viewing area, and it could be quite a bit more than 5 inches depending on how these two systems interact. But again, a 5-inch plus amount is a good place to start for now. We'll keep you posted and have further updates as models come in and more information becomes available.